I spent 100 days in No Rest for the Wicked. It is an action RPG game where I play as a Serum, a member of a group of mystical warriors sworn to defeat the Pestilence, our enemies. This time, I'll be committing myself to putting most of my points to faith and wielding a mace, hammer, and staff. Will I be able to defeat every boss in the game? Or will I fail? Let's begin. Alright, day 1. We spawned at the Shallows. So the very first thing I need to do would be to collect all the materials I can find here. And going further to my exploration, I found myself an axe here. Just here near this canal thing. Now I have a way to chop down wood. And with this, I can start collecting some wood. It will be very useful later on to upgrade a bunch of town shops. Next, I initiated a conversation with Captain Talvik right here so I can get the quest. And for the very first weapon I obtained, I got the blood-rusted sword. I was hoping to get a mace or a hammer since we're on a fate run or a fate build. Because this thing scales in strength, so it's not gonna scale up with our fate. I got really lucky here because I got myself an armor with like 50 plus armor. What a good way to start the game. I'm pretty solid right now. And sneaking is always the very best way to kill someone or something in this game. Because you usually just one-shot them with a backstab like that. So this is what we call a Serum Whisper. It's basically the save point of the game. I just interacted with it and immediately climbed up the tower because I know there's a treasure waiting here on the other side. But there's also an enemy which I need to sneak behind and kill in maybe 2 shots. If I successfully... Yeah! So what I did right there is a mechanic in the game called parry. I perfectly timed that parry skill so I can counter like that. When you parry an enemy, it fills up most of your focus, I believe. Or just 100, I don't know. That was a good way to start the day. For now, I rested at the campfire and cooked some mushroom soup. I would be needing this. In this game, food is equivalent to a health potion. So with this mushroom soup, I can heal about 35 of my health. I then climbed this tower right here full of vines. And then there was an enemy who didn't know I was behind him. So of course, we're gonna sneak attack this guy and one-shot him to death. This is more like an assassin playthrough than an actual playthrough of a fate build. All this sneaking around. So in this game, each weapon has a specific skill. And for this sword, there's this spin attack. It's very good to stagger enemies and the damage is also amazing for only 50 focus. And with this skill, I have leveled up to level 2. And since we don't really have a fate weapon right now, I'm gonna be investing all of my 3 points to health so we can at least tank a bunch of damage. So I continued my adventure raiding this Mariner's Keep in order to go to Sacrament. I needed to pass through this area in order to reach Sacrament, which is our goal right now. But of course, we need to grind a bunch of items so we can get stronger. I need a lot of iron ores, a lot of wood, and a lot of clay. Currently, I don't really have a shovel, but I picked up a pickaxe about a few seconds ago. After pushing through Mariner's Keep, I eventually found the next Serum Whisper. So we have a certain save point here as well, so if ever we die, we can just return here. I eventually overheard a bunch of bad guys bullying this blacksmith in order to receive a lever handle so they can pass through a certain gate that is closed. So I need to save this blacksmith because bullies are bad. So I killed these 2 enemies that were on standby near the gate. This guy was pretty annoying to fight because he kept like throwing grenade in my face. It's very hard to dodge. After dealing with the 2 enemies, I found a dead guard with a mess hall key. So we can now access the mess hall and help the blacksmith out. And as soon as I opened the door, I immediately initiated combat, spinning around 2 times. If you master parrying in this game, you'll be invincible. I spoke with the blacksmith and he gave me the handle, so I can now open the gate. Also, I finally saw the mace that we need for this fate run or fate build run. So I sold like a bunch of trash in my inventory and bought the mace. I also bought a shovel as I was missing this tool in order to dig up some clay. And honestly, I already missed the sword. Because the hammer's damage is not really good compared to other weapons. But anyways, we leveled up and now I can put some stats on my fate. I had another hammer on my inventory, but it required 1 point in strength and I don't want any point in strength. I just want to purely build fate. Except for health, equipment gain, and like focus or stamina. But aside from that, no other stat. So I opened the gate in order to proceed to our journey towards Sacrament. And here is the bulky warrior again. This guy is hard to fight, but by sneaking behind him, we can smack him like that. And yeah. Since the bridge to the other side was closed, I had to ride this elevator above this tower. What awaited me were 2 enemies. And like I said, that mace is so bad because its skill is like a knockdown skill. The damage is just so bad compared to the spinning attack we had when we were using a sword. I then arrived at a place called the Orban Glades. Since I didn't know these 2 NPCs, I just totally ignored them and cooked some mushroom soup. I then kicked down this bridge, so now I had easy access if ever we need to go back and forth from this place. And continued on grinding for iron, trees, and clay. So I found another Serum Whisper. Now we don't need to worry if ever we die from something here, because we can always respawn here. Oh look, I found a hat. Yeah. While I was walking around the road, suddenly I hear a scream somewhere. I guess we're gonna have our boss fight pretty soon. But I'm pretty sure I'm not strong enough yet, so I decided to explore the entirety of Orban Glades before I go to the boss. Naming this part of the Orban Glades, I encountered 2 enemies here. They were pretty easy to kill now that I have some fate and a hammer. But the most important thing in this place is this mushroom shrine on my right side. There was a bunch of mushroom and herbs here, and I can use this to craft a bunch of food, meaning I would have more potions against the boss. There was also a looting spot just by swimming down the Orban Glades, and I found some mushroom and herbs as well, along with some iron ores, wood, and a chest. Then lastly, there was this top place of the Orban Glades. There were also enemies stationed here, but they weren't really that strong. I can just clubber them with some sneaky attack. And like I said, the mace is horrible with its skill. 100 focus point and the only damage I can do was that. But don't worry though, once we get to Sacrament, we can improve our mace. I fought up some lizard ninjas above the Orban Glades. They're pretty tricky to fight as they always like dodge us each time I use a skill. So I should just, use my normal attack. It would have been way easier, but I wanted to kill them in style. Then I fought this really big tree, or I don't know what monster this is. But, I said nope. Just nope. Good thing I had some bombs with me, because I was pretty sure I would have died against this guy. I hated his attack pattern. It's very hard to parry. I needed only 2 more experience to level. But since there were no more monsters, it was time for the boss fight. And with that, the boss has been slain. I leveled up and I also unlocked the way to Sacrament. The very first thing I did was speak to this NPC called Carolyn so I can look for her missing husband, which is Gordon. I had initiated the innkeeper's husband quest. Next, I spoke with Greenwich right here, a merchant in Sacrament, to check his goods. There was really nothing of interest, maybe aside from the clay. I then went to Eleanor. She was an enchantress in this game, and she could handle like runes. So I extracted the spinning attack rune and the fire throw rune from the two items I found during our adventures. I slotted the fire throw as well as the spin attack. So now our mace is not the boring mace that you all knew that we just thrusted earlier. Next, I interacted with the Serum Whisper in Sacrament to activate the fast travel option. And then I was on my way to the rookery. Upon reaching the rookery, I met Rowan and the Watcher. They gave me a place to rest as well as a chest I can store my items in. I spoke with the Watcher and had him increase my ring slot so I can wear another ring out of my 10 fingers. Right now I can only wear one. I then upgraded my mace to the maximum amount on tier 1. Because I didn't really have any wolf claw or iron ingot right now. So these are torches that the woodcrafter sells, Whittaker. So if you enchant them, there's a chance that it will give you like a % to heal on life or focus. It's a really good offhand weapon if you're not really using a shield anyways. So like this one, but the equip load decreases. It sucks. But still, 5% on focus on damage dealt, that's pretty great. I'll be buying more and more torches and trying to get a really good enchantment once I have some money. Right now, I'm poor already. The only downside on this thing is the durability drains really fast. So it's better to insert a rune of repair. So at least you can repair on the go. The next thing I did was go back to Orban Glades and go inside this glowing cave right here. This is where Marcus was settling in. He gave us a quest to prove ourselves that we're a Serum. Marcus is basically the potion seller in the game, and once we complete his quest, he will move to Sacrament and sell potions to us. And we need that guy in Sacrament because I would love some stamina vials later on the game. Focus vials. Our task here is basically to look for a certain flower and interact with it. So after going through a lot of obstacles and enemies, I finally reached a point where I saw a Serum Whisper. And look at the spinning attack on the hammer. It's amazing. The high damage on the hammer plus the spin attack. So I interacted with the flower and something magical happened. I feel like I was drugged or something. Because of the effect of the flower, I can now see stuff that I haven't seen earlier. So basically, the flower had like some magical powers where we can interact with the stuff that can't be seen by the normal eye. So we can now go to areas we can't before. Because now there's like these invisible bridges before, but now it's like there's a physical body to it. So I had to go through a lot of obstacles and a lot of enemies. This quest is really scary because anytime we might fall to our death. And there's a lot of like enemies that try to kill us along the way. This is the fire throw that I inserted earlier on my weapon. It's pretty nice to have a distance when hitting enemies that we're scared of, like that big giant tree right there. After following the illusionary with physical thingy bridges, I finally reached the end of it. So I went inside the chamber. It was a hole towards a waterfall where I dived in. So I guess that was it. I have finished the quest, and now the potion seller would move to Sacrament. So basically, that flower supposedly would kill anyone that's not a serum. So good thing we're a serum, or else we would have died. So I continued my adventure to look for Gordon in the shallows. But I had an encounter with this giant green monster in the shallow. He was really scary, but I was kinda hoping that he would drop that hammer so I can use it. Fire throw is an awesome skill if I can't, I can't time the parry on a certain monster. I'll just throw my hammer at their face. I found Gordon here at the broken bridge. It seems he can't go home because the bridge was broken and I needed to find a way to help him escape. So there was a ladder up here that I need to kick so he can go there and go home. I swear, the spin attack is so fun. Just look at this. I then found the door towards the western bridge. And the moment I opened it, there was someone there. And for some reason, I'm aiming, I don't know, the door? What was I aiming at? Remember that green orc we fought before? He was here again, guarding the western bridge. It was honestly a tough fight because I couldn't parry properly. Anyhow, we killed the orc. And finally, we kicked the ladder for Gordon. Now we can see him in Sacrament and we can visit his shop. I enchanted an extra pants I had and I was lucky that the enhancement was pretty good. Look at it. I then went to Danos to donate a bunch of stuff I have got, like the copper ores and the pine wood, so he can start repairing a bunch of stuff. I then went to another realm to gather a bunch of iron ores and pine wood. I didn't want to wait for the materials or the resources to respawn in my original realm, so this was the best way for me to gather a bunch of materials earlier than waiting for a few minutes or hours before it respawns. Also, if we can kill the boss again, we would get another free slot upgrade on our inventories. So I killed the boss again. And when I checked the merchant of this realm, he was selling an agility ring, so I immediately bought it. I then had the watcher expand my offhand slot, so at the very least I can switch between a shield and a torch. I wanted to switch with a shield because when my torch would have like really low durability, I just switched to the shield so it wouldn't break. I'm honestly not sure if an item disappears if it reaches 0 durability, but I know a tool breaks when it reaches 0 durability. I just haven't experimented with an equipment yet. I then donated all the materials I've gained on the other realm from farming. I had a lot of clay now, so clay wasn't a problem anymore regarding the tier 3 shops. For the other shops that I needed to upgrade, it would be the alchemy stand and Gordon's pantry. Everything else is not really important in my eyes, just that the smithing and the enchantment shop is one of the best things I need to upgrade for the blink and the iron ingots or the silver ingots at tier 3 for the smithy. The materials I got wasn't enough, so I went to another realm again to gather more. The merchant on this realm also sold an agility ring, so I had 2 now. I then gave Thanos the materials again so he can start upgrading the shops. I prioritized the shops more than like the bridges or the elevator of Sacrament. I then decided it was time to beat the bounty or the boss inside the war room. I'm currently very under leveled. As you can see, the map says it's dangerous. But as long as I play this right and parry most of its attack, there should be no problem in killing this thing. And with that, I have slain the boss or the monster inside the war room. And I killed it again in realm number 2, where we farmed material. And I leveled up to 10. And again in realm number 3. I then went to the Watcher and donated all the 3 Plague Ichor so he can expand most of my resource inventory slot, as well as one of my equipment slot. I then accepted a bounty where I had to eliminate 2 giant monsters in the shallows. I didn't want to fight them together, so I found a way I could fight them one by one. I gained a level as well as an extra Plague Ichor that the quest would give. If anyone's wondering, this is my current stat right now. I've been dividing Faith and Health so I can have survivability. Since my blacksmith shop is now level 2, I can buy tier 2 equipments like armor. I bought an entire set. Hopefully I can get a good enhancement. So I also sold a bunch of goods because I didn't really have the money to enhance them all. The stats were average, but at least I have higher armor now than earlier. So it was now time to resume my quest. Right now, I'm on a quest to track down a warlord called Darak that would harm Sacrament. Honestly, being 11 right now and with this armor set, I'm pretty tanky and overpowered, I guess, with the current quest we have. It was smooth sailing and I eventually found the Serum Whisper, meaning the boss was pretty nearby. All I mostly do is just parry and spin to win and everything will just die and disappear. And with the last enemy in the area defeated, it was time to fight the boss.
Ellsworth arms field hands and farmers and sends them to the slaughter. I wonder, by the time we breach Sacrament's gates, will anyone be left inside? You're fighting for a dead man. Ellsworth can't protect Sacrament. He can't protect anyone.
That was a real struggle. And when I say that, it's because my frames dropped to around 20 or 30 when I was fighting that boss. It's pretty laggy here. I don't know why. Maybe it's all because of the fire or something. So I went back to Sacrament to tell them what happened with the Warlord, and these two argued. So I talked to this girl Odessa right here. She told me that if I free Ratigan, she might help me find out where Derek ran away from. So I grabbed the keys from this drunk guard right here. I freed Ratigan and he told me we should meet at the sewers and he will show me the way to their lair. I farmed a bit first at the Orban glades as I wasn't done repairing the town of Sacrament. Then went to the sewers since Ratigan told me we'll meet here and for some reason I can climb this rock. So anyways, I was at the sewers, Ratigan was up there. He said he will show me where the kingdom is.
Awaits within. And all the rot that comes with it.
So I entered the sewers and it led me to a place called the Black Trench. This place was full of mutated monsters, like mutated rats, mutated people, I guess, and some leeches. I had to save my save point here at the Serum Whisper first, and then continued on looking at the sewers to find a certain key to open the sewers. Not the sewers, the inside of the sewers. There was a gate blocking the way. It's honestly so fun to spin around and destroy everything in my way. Anyhow, I got the keys. So I opened the drainage cellars. And here I saw a monstrosity. And a very bad thing happened. Didn't hesitate a single second and eliminated all the leeches that spawned. I'll be skipping the details on the random puzzles that this sewers have. Just interacting those things and like some bridges will come and then some things will happen. Then I'll have to go and interact with it. So anyways, you get the point. It's basically just running around the sewers trying to find a way to the boss. Swear to God, the spin attack and the throw attack are so fun to use. If you remember the boss at the war room, he's here again, guarding a key that leads to another area of the game. But he's very easy to kill here because he's kind of weak compared to the ones at the war room. Anyhow, I got the key. And upon entering the room, I see like a man being slaughtered by small creatures. So I killed them all, including the man. And I leveled up. I then found a Serum Whisper in the sewers, so I decided to go back to Sacrament for now and sell a bunch of items. I also gave Danos the recent materials I have gained from my adventures. I continued my adventures at the sewers and finally found the sewer lever handle. I can now operate a bunch of those machineries because I have the handle. So I returned once more to the first Serum Whisper we have found earlier. And now with the handle, I activated this contraption, which would lead me to this next area of interest. Upon going inside this tunnel, there were so many weird things here. So I guess we're really close to the boss by now. So for anyone curious, this is my current stats right now. I had 30 faith, 20 health, and 13 equip load. For items, look at my torch. My torch is an amazing piece of work. Yeah. Everything else is just normal items. And I also have a plague ring that had like 2% health on damage dealt. So combined with my torch, I have 4% in total.
You're sick. All of you. Try and stop me. Keep me from Honora. But I'll save her. Protect her from you.
And with that, I have slain Darak. And that was a really satisfying parrying and spin to win attack. Anyways, we have completed the quest after defeating Darak. And we have unlocked housing. We can now buy a house to store our goodies. Because honestly, going up the rockery is a pain in the butt. I'd rather have my own house. I totally didn't notice that there was a mace called Malice in the blacksmith. I could have purchased this earlier before our Darak fight. So yeah, I wanted to purchase this because I didn't really have the wolf claw to make my current hammer into tier 2. So I'll be buying another one-hand sword to get the spin attack in this thing. I bought like 4 of them and enchanted them. And this one looks pretty decent. 2% health on damage dealt. Like, oh my god. So we have a 6% total now. With a torch. That's crazy. Dang, it's just that I'm encumbered right now. I need to lose an equipment, or I need to add like points to my equipment load. Because the penalty for the mace is an equipment load decrease of 27%. So I need to be helmetless right now until I level up and add like an equipment load. So now I went to the next area of interest, which would be the Nameless Pass. Because we need to do a quest called the Servant of God. I had to go back to Sacrament once more because I totally forgot to purchase like iron tools, like the pickaxe, the axe, and the shovel. Because I'll be collecting tier 2 resource now in the Nameless Pass. For this grind, I'll just need about 20 spruce wood, 10 clay, and about 10 iron ores. I just wanted to make the smithy and the enchantment shop tier 3. That's my goal right now. And with that, those two being tier 3, it would be enough for me to beat the game and beat all the bosses in the game. And man, looking at the 2 fire weapons I have, not really a weapon, the other one, the torch and the fire mace, it looks really cool when I spin. Honestly, right now, I'm unkillable. With my 20 points in health and my 6% lifesteal depending on my damage dealt, I can't be killed by this low-level monsters right now. So yeah, the next few moments would be just me grinding a bunch of items in this place. More on spruce woods and iron ores. But once that's done, I'm gonna proceed with my main quest. There are sometimes like blooper moments that for some reason I felt like this. I guess I didn't have enough stamina to reach the top, so I fell and died. Anyways, I continued the grind and reached level 14. And then rode this elevator from high up this mountain to go down. Stat distribution, I'm focusing on Fate right now until I reach like about 42 in Fate. If ever we get a better weapon like the tier 3 one, it would need 42 Fate. I then opened this gate so I don't need to go through the mountain again in order to access this place. Afterwards, I interacted with the Whisper to go home and gave Danos a bunch of the items I have gained earlier. I prioritized the smithy, then enchantment shop. But I was missing like 6 wood. I need to go to another realm to farm the spruce wood. And so I did. I just needed like 6 and I will go back to my original realm. There was no more reason to grind right now. I was very strong. I wanted to access the end game as soon as I can. As soon as I got the 6 wood, I donated it to Danos. Now I just need to wait 4 hours for these two to finish. So for now, I resume my quest and explore the Nameless Pass. Because the Madrigal needs me. I had a lot of work to do in order to unlock the next gate that was blocking me. I had to jump through these crane border thingies. And for that, I need to ride the elevator again to take me on top. So I could drop down from what you can see from below there. Where it looks like I can drop off and maybe survive. I don't really know where else to go. But I think this is the place I needed to go. Because imagine, if I did not put any stats on my, let's say, health, I would have died there. So maybe this isn't the right way. But if it works, it works. It's so fun to be like an assassin in this game. Look at how I assassinated that mage. Anyways, after I was done with the crane game, let's just call it the crane game. I don't know what to call this thing. Anyways, I hopped and hopped and hopped until I got to the Serum Whisper. By getting to this place, I unlocked the door so I won't be blocked anymore if I wanted to come here again. And also, I have unlocked the gate so we can proceed to the next area, which was a prison with so many dead bodies here. I wonder what happened. I guess there was a war between soldiers and prisoners. I don't know why I'm so strong. It's not like I have a very OP weapon. It's just a normal tier 2 weapon that has been enhanced. I guess it's the spin attack. It's making it so strong. It's not the torch. The torch is just a support weapon that gives me like stamina and focus and the health on damage dealt. Everything just dies so fast. I guess this is what happens when you do something like a side quest than just follow the main story. And by side quest, I mean I upgraded all the shops in town. The very important ones. Not all, actually. These are the important ones, like the smithy and the enhancement shop. I then continued my adventure. I was done with the prison. There was no monsters there left, or enemies. And I found myself a Serum Whisper here, so I was on the right track. As I went down the stairs, I see a lot of people here. And there were people blocking this entrance right here. So I just went ahead and followed wherever the soldiers are standing. I encountered the mayor of the city and the magical. So this quest was the magical was calling for us because she needed someone to translate a certain text that they couldn't understand. They needed an ancient warrior to read the ancient text. And honestly, I also don't understand whatever is written here. Anyways, the guys who were blocking the path made me pass now. And look, another whisper. It means the boss is very close by. I just have to find the way in. So I went inside this cave. I found the entrance, but I can't just drop there. I might actually die when I try to drop there. So I had to dive in this waterfall here. So for a safe landing in the water. Then destroyed a bunch of monsters. And then climb up on the vines here. I needed to rest first because I don't really have any points in stamina. I might fall again because I ran out of stamina. Just being careful. And finally, I found the way to the boss area. So it's time for the boss fight.
Some of them begged. Some of them prayed. When we took their eyes and cut their throats. But there are no gods to answer. Not even yours.
Oh my god, I'm so strong. It died so fast. And with that, we have finished the Servant of God quest. I went back and the magical spoke with me. Not even a single thank you. Anyways, I went home to Sacrament. I then talked to Rowan right here and he gave me a book to give to Elsa in the masonry. And I drank this small experience potion I had in my inventory. It's very convenient because I leveled up. So I invested some points in my equip load in order to wear the helmet. So now I can wear a helmet. I'm not helmetless anymore. I then unlock a bunch more equipment slot, the resource inventory slot, item slot from the old man for all the plague egger I have obtained in the recent events. I was still lacking like 2 plague egger to fully unlock my item inventory slot, so I went to another realm to obtain some plague eggers. I honestly just shut my brain down and just start whacking the boss with normal attacks and such. So I unlock another item inventory slot and I just need 1 more, which means I need to kill the boss at the war room. So I killed the boss at the war room. And with that, I have unlocked all my item slots, my equipment slots, and my resource inventory slots. Upon checking the merchant in town, I saw this ring I haven't seen before. It's called the Ring of Broken Promises. It's a glass cannon ring where you can deal 24% more damage, but you take 24% more damage. I just bought it because I was interested. I'm probably just gonna store it in my storage. I then went to the masonry to deliver the tome to Elsa. There was a huge hole underground, so I went inside. I found Elsa and gave her the tome. She said that the tome said that in order to open this chamber, I need to donate like my serum blood to this altar right here, and it would open. So this is the Serum Crucible. It's a really huge place. And how I understand it is this place was used to be a training ground for the serums. So I interacted with the Whisper, so I can come here anytime. Then told me that in order for it to work, I have to offer up an ember and then my blood. And so the elevator should work. So now it's time to grind. I need to grind to like level 21 or something, so I can equip like tier 3 armor set. The monsters here were tough. We were jumping around like lunatics. But anyways, I can easily take care of most of the monsters here by just spinning and winning and dodging and dodging. My only chance of victory here is to stagger these giant monsters so they can't kill me and just spam the heck out of my spinning attack until it dies. They gave like really huge amount of XP, so like I said, this place is a really good place to grind, as well as they give like tier 3 equipments. So it's time to farm some plate items. I'm especially looking for fate weapons. One is a blue sword. I think it's called the spirit sword. And then hive staff. It's the fate staff that deals like fire damage. And then a two-handed fate weapon would also be good. So there's really no story to tell anymore. I just grinded myself till I reached the final boss in this Serum Crucible, which is the Echo Knight. I can't believe I actually reached the boss room. I don't have any food right now that would buff my stats, like more HP, more focus, or more stamina. And my current gears is just tier 2 armor, that the enhancement are just random things that I couldn't really care about. I just cared about the armor. For the torch though, I have an amazing torch. For the weapon, it's okay. So yeah, let's try our luck here with Echo Knight. I couldn't even do anything. Oh my god. It was honestly time to take a break for now and wait for 4 hours in real life so that the blacksmith and the enchanter shop is done. So 4 hours later, the blacksmith shop is now tier 3. I don't really have anything I can buy right now aside from the armor set. For the enchanter shop, I can now buy the blink and insert it on my torch. So finally, I had added the blink to my torch. So I continued my grind at the Serum Crucible, rolling my way to victory. I also obtained something called the Risen Blade, and this thing had the Ice Throw ability, which I extracted. Then I went to another realm in order to kill this boss again, so I get a free equipment slot. I wanted to use the Hive wand that I recently had. It's a Fate wand, meaning I can cast magic, and it procs with Fate. Upon killing the War Room boss, I actually leveled up. I then resumed my grind. There was nothing else to do aside from killing the final boss of Early Access, which is Echo Knight, and also reaching level 30. I reached the final stage of the Serum Crucible again, which was floor 10. And we will now face up with Echo Knight. But sadly, I died again, even with the blink skill. I think right now I needed more armor to survive. So I'm just waiting to reach level 21 so we can change our armor set. These armor are the best that I enchanted from all the plate items I've gained so far. I have this pants with armor and health. I have this helmet with armor and an armor with armor. I just needed to reach 21 and I should be set on killing Echo Knight. And with this large experience potion I obtained, I'm now level 21. I can finally wear all the items I couldn't. But there's a problem. Because of my mace's equipped load decrease, I'm too heavy for this armor set. So I have to go topless for now. I'm still strong though, and the armor is also still higher compared to when I still had my tier 2 set. Alright, once again I reached the Echo Knight stage. And these are the only armors I'm wearing, still topless. I have no choice, because being encumbered means I can't run. I think this is fine. I'm just waiting for the cooldown on food because I'm eating all of the buff food potions I have. And let's begin the fight. can't believe it. I killed the Echo Knight at level 11 shirtless. Oh my god, the spinning attack is really OP with the blink. It's crazy. I didn't get anything good in the treasury room, but whatever. Only thing left now is to reach level 30 and we're done with our playthrough for now in early access. And so the grind continues, looking for items that are better than my current ones and reaching level 30. I also grinded Echo Knight as he was a really good experience source. He made me gain a level each time I reach his stage. I'm now 25. I finally got myself a new weapon called the Spirit Edge. And finally, we won't be suffering from that equipment load decrease any longer. I added both the Ice Throw and the Spin rune on it. I also added a blink because I didn't want to switch to my torch each time I wanted to blink. It's way easier to just press a number and blink. I added some gems like focus, stamina gain, and cold damage to the sword, as well as percent health on kill. I also purchased myself a house and some chests so I can store items in. So the next few scenes will be just me grinding in the Serum Crucible until we reach like 30. And look at this awesome ice throw. It basically just freezes the monster in place once you throw it. It's crazy. And about this third encounter with Echo Knight, he wasn't really a problem anymore. And I reached level 26. I can just throw my ice weapon or I can just spin around his face and he'll eventually either be staggered or frozen in place. And with that, we have reached level 30. All our goals have been met. So now, let's just fight the Echo Knight one last time before we say goodbye to this 100-day video, minus a few days. Okay, so for this fight, I'll only be using the Dried Hive or my staff. I'll only be using magic, but I'll need to switch to my first loadout as I forgot to add Blink to the staff. Actually, I was reserving it for a fire sweep, but since we're fighting a boss here, and I'm sorry, the audio is broken. I don't know, when I leveled to 30, it just broke. So, yeah, this is the fight. thank you guys again for watching my 100 days of No Rest for the Wicked. I hope you enjoyed your stay here. So don't forget to click that like button if you like the video and that subscribe button if you want to tune in for more of my videos. So once again, thank you for watching. Bye now.